Good morning and sliding in the afternoon. Judy Allen here with Adventurous Stampin', and today's about keep it simple or step it up. So this is the last of our July 1st through the 16th on the free kit to go with an order of $35 or more. If you do $50, right, you get bonus days, which gives you a $5 off coupon for August. All right, with that, let's get started. I'll show you what we've already done, and we'll get forward to doing what we're doing today. We're making a slider card today. So whoop whoop. And it can also be used to make, like, I forget what you call it, but anyway, somebody can make it to put on their shirt or whatever, right, as decor. So let's do this. Let's do it. It's raining here. Yay. All right. I didn't make this live, but at least wanted to show this to you. And we're going to do something sort of similar today, but I just want to at least show you this right here, okay? Because it's real pretty and it's simple to make. I die cut all this. All right, let me set that aside. So, what I want to show you today, first of all, is we're going to use, last week I was showing you, I'm going to take all the pieces out for you. Some of it I've already pre-done, we're going to talk about. Okay, so let me set this aside so you don't get too excited about all that. Or this right here. Set that aside for you. Okay. So last week we were sitting there and putting this together, and we were doing the birdhouse, right? And I had one of these there, and I used it for something else, and it's already gone. And we did a little airplane that's also can make an ornament. Both of these can be made into ornament. And so I'm going to show you how we made it. So this is actually taken two of these. And I'm just going to do this a little backwards for you. So this is actually 3/4 by, and I'll write this down. Let me write it down for you. And I'm trying to find something bright that you can see. I have this bright orange pen, and I don't see it right now. Let me just go ahead and write it in regular ink for you. So this is 3/4 by 5.5 strips. Okay? And what I've done here is I've just glued the tips together, and you can see, I'm not sure how much you would say that is, but just enough to come over, right? Just enough to make sure that when I go and we're gonna sit there and die cut this at a space. Now, this is what I die cut. So these are already die cut. So it started off this way in 3 strips that I glued together, and then I took this and I die cut. You can see when I laid this down next to it, I die cut it out, right? So to ensure that these will line up when I put them together, I'm going to show you how to do that. I sat there and took, so when you die cut this out, it's going to look like this, right? You're going to get this. So when I went and laid this down to cut out the second piece, I just laid this down and put the die in the middle, and I die cut it. And it's made it a lot easier, right? It's all about tips and tricks. How do you make it work? How's it easier? And all that kind of stuff, all right? So here it is. So it goes through all the pieces of paper. You just have to make sure so I glued them down, right? And you have to let it dry, but when you run it through the die, it will sit up there and die it as if it's one piece of paper. And that's important, right? Because we're going to fold on these scored lines. So you just fold on the scored lines, and I'm just going to do the first one here for you, just to show you. So wherever you have a tab, right, it's going to connect to another solid end. So I just fold this one down here. And I'm not going to do it all the way because this is actually going out in somebody's packet. That's already done, $35. So I'm just going to sit there and glue these together like that. Alright? That's how it works. You just take it and use some glue, and you can line it up just like that. So it lines up because that's how I made sure when I die cut it, right? So you glue those together, and then once it dries, then you can take and glue the last remaining 2 ends together, right? So it's going to form a circle. Alright, so what I've done, once we did the circle, right, let me set that aside, is you're going to end up with this. Now that's because I've already glued it all together on both sides. I'll show you the seam. There's one seam there, and there's the other. And it's not going to really matter by the time you get through. Now I actually, from last week when you guys suggested I use hot glue, and I have to tell you, using hot glue does work amazing. Now the only thing is when you use the hot glue, right, you got to make sure you get it down and go ahead and get it going. Alright, so we're going to put up here is I went ahead and did this here. We're going to do something else, but we're going to actually glue this right here on top, all right? Now, so if you're wanting to know what is on the back here, this is actually a 2-inch round circle punch. That's on online only. But anyway, I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to just glue it right there. This is actually in the Round We Go bundle. So when you die cut it, you get a circle, and you get this right here in the middle. So I wanted to do that, so I could just put it in the middle, because that's what's going to be the middle of the front here. And we're going to hot glue this, and I'm just going to show you how that works. You know how to use a hot glue gun, right? But what we're going to do is hot glue it. I'm actually going to put something on it to help it. Right? So I've actually, that you can't see right here, is I've actually got a little small jar, right? And the reason we use a small jar, it just helps to push that down and get that hot glue really in there and get it sealed really well, and that's what I want. Okay, so we just have to wait for the hot glue gun to heat up because I didn't want glue all over the place. So while we're waiting for that, alright, see, here's some pieces we're going to use. So the die comes with 2 different sizes to make these. So I did one in white with red, white, and blue, right? And we're going to use on the inside of the card. I did 2 reds here, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue them together. Now, see, you can see how when they line up, all you can do is turn it slightly here, and there you go. That's what it's going to look like. So let me glue that while we're waiting. And then I already put together this red, white, and blue here. So we're going to actually put those on the inside of the card, and we're going to do it a little bit different than I originally anticipated, and you'll see it when we go to make the slider for the card. So this is actually going to slide up. We're designing this so that it can slide up and down, and then if somebody wants to, they can actually slide it off, and they can turn around and make it. I'm just trying to think of the term. If one of you guys get on here, I'll let you tell me what the term is. But it's, you know, so you can make something that you can pin on your blouse, right? My grandson was here. He must try to tell me what they call it in high school. So I'm going to set that aside too, because that's going to go on top. That's what I want to do. But I could have just as easily left it like this. But I just wanted the rosette part of it. So I'm just going to put this like all around on the outside here, right? Because that's where the gooey stuff's going to go in from the hot glue gun. And I'm just going to put it right here in the center. I never worry about all that little stringy stuff because that can always be taken off, right? I'm just going to center it. And I'm just going to put this right here a moment. And we're going to slide it right there while it dries, okay? Okay, so while it's drying, and I unplug the hot glue gun so it can start cooling off. Alright, so we're going to build the rest of it. And I got my hot glue gun out of the way. Alright, so you can see where we're going with these. I already glued this down. And let me just move this right here. And I already did some stamping ahead of time because what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a little flicking. And this would be cute just even with this, right? So you can do so many things. Now what I wanted to do here is I wanted some, just a fleck, right? So if you look at this card I made here, I just flicked some red and blue on there just to get a little, sort of like the 4th of July sparkly fireworks looks and all, okay? So while we're done with 4th of July, keep in mind that we still have other things coming up that are always ways that we can sit there and, I'm going to go ahead and flick this, that we can sit there and give people cards, right? We have people that are, I'm just going to use my thing right here to hold this down. So there's people that's, you know, veterans, right? And we have Veterans Day, we have 4th of July, we have Memorial Day. Those are the ones I can think of. They've got Flag Day. So I'm just lightly doing it. I'm not doing it heavy. And when I get through, I'll show you. But it just looks like lightly speckled, okay? But it just gives it some little extra. Because it just gives it that little extra touch, right? And do the same thing here. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited we got rain. Ooh, that went really quick. Alright. So, this is what it looks like when I get through, right? And you can see I've got the speckled on the paper. It's just light, right? Just enough to get a little extra. I thought it'd be pretty cool to actually see if you could do the same thing with a wink of Stella, but I'm not going to do that right now. Alright, so what we're going to have here is we're going to make a slide. I'm going to show you here. The slide is made of a 2-inch circle, and just like I showed you the little pieces a minute ago that I put on the front of the card there, or the circle I'm creating. So all I did was took it and folded it in half, and glue these two together. So we've done this for pop-up cards, and it's like it's a pop-up, right? It's a pop-up, but it's also a slider. So the important thing is when you sit up there and score the lines here, you want to be between, just a smidgen between 2 1/4 and 2 1/8. All right. So you're going to be right in between there. It's going to leave you this little gap. And so when you do this little device like this is how it's going to slide. Okay. So the nice thing is, like I said, it's a slide, but once you slide it off, right, we're going to have it so that if you want to be able to pin this to you, you can either do it with a pen, or you can sit there and do a hot glue, one of those little metal pins that you can put on back if that's what you want to do. I have a number of friends and people that like to sit there and wear different pins on the different days, right? So this would be nice and easy for them to do. So we'll show you how we're going to finish that. Meanwhile, these two are 1-inch strips, and this is actually from the Neutrals DSP paper they have right now. So that's what this is. And I've taken just an inch. It's 1 inch by 5 1/2. It's just a smidgen off so we can see a little bit of white. Okay, I'm just going to put this on here for us. Okay, this should be dry. So see how by just putting a glass on here, oh, it didn't do. All right, let me go back. I guess I did not get the edges or it dried too quick. Hold on. Because that's the only thing about the hot glue. You got to be able to do it quick, right? Can't let the glue sit there and cool off. So we'll have to do that in just a second again. Let me get this glue on. See, if this glue dries, it doesn't bother me, right? Because all we got to do is put more glue on. The hot glue one, though, is like... So even when I made the other card, I had to sit there and like get it on there quickly. As quick as I could, right? Without burning myself or getting any other kind of drama or excitement going. Let's see if our glue gun's going yet. Okay, not yet. So, yeah, so I'm surprised. If I have to, I can go on the top of the other one and do it. Only things happen differently when you do lives, right? You just work on that sweat and small stuff because you know you'll get it done. All right. So, there we go. We have these two pieces right here. But I do have to have this because I can't move forward with this until I get it really sunk in there. So, let's see if I can get that really sunk in there. All right. So, I really need this to work and get with the program. All right. Let me just sit there myself with my hand. The other stuff, I did it with this jar. It really helped me because I just didn't have to deal with it, right? I just let it hold it there. There we go. I think so. Yeah. Alright, so we finished this right here. So like I said, this is going to go here. Now, when you go and do this, I want to put these on the inside. I designed these so I could put these on the inside. Originally, I was going to put it here and here, and then I was just going to stamp here and here. That won't work, and I'll show you why. When this comes down as a slider, keep in mind, I'll do it this way. So as it slides down, you're not going to be able to do that, right? Because this is going to come right there, and it's going to be in the way of it sliding. So you don't want to do that. So we had to go to plan B, right? You always got to have a plan A and a plan B. It helps. Hello, Bertner. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it like right here. Because it'll look just as nice here, and just as nice here. And you can still have room to write your sentiment, stamp something, or whatever you want to do. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're just going to go ahead and put this on here. And put one right here. And we'll put one right here. So, you know, even if you have veterans, I know I have a veteran in our family. My husband's a veteran. And then we've had a son that was a Marine. And he'll always be a Marine, I think. And then we have our grandson that is in the Navy. And then we have the other grandson's junior ROTC. So this is how it's going to look when it opens right here. Okay? So I do have something we're going to stamp, but it just wasn't going to be exactly like I did before. Okay? So let's go ahead and see if this finally stood. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, because we need it to be solid, right? So this is actually going to slide onto this right here. Okay? I'm not worried about gluing it yet. At the moment, I'm just going to sit there and set this right here because I want to finish it off, all right, before I sit there and glue this on. So the way we're going to finish this off, I really wanted this flower on top. It looks like a flower, right? They may not have designed it like a flower, but that's how I'm using it, right? So it's my creation, right? It's your creation. You do it however you want to do it. So I'm just going to glue this right here. And I've got these these embellishments I used on the other card that I could easily do on here if I wanted. We'll see. I don't know right at the moment because I changed my mind, right? I slept last night and I can change my mind. So we have the ribbon. So I have actually already made the ribbon. This cool technique I talked a little bit about last week. Just going to fray this just a little bit. So this is the silver and white sheer ribbon, and it's really cool because when you sit it there and cut it in half lengthwise, I can fray it. It just gives it a cool look, right? Now here's what I'm talking about where we're going to make a pin. So we're going to actually put this right here, and we're going to put this time to celebrate right on top of here. Alright? So I do have choices. I can hot glue it, which I'm not overly confident that I can make happen. But we'll try it, okay? Because if somebody's going to sit there and wear this, it's most likely going to need to be hot glued. Alright, so I'm going to put some hot glue here. And I'm just going to put it down here, down at the bottom. I'm just going to squish it in there into that hot glue stuff, alright? Because I don't want it to come off. And then I'm just going to do the same thing in the middle here. I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue. And I'm going to stick this out of the way before I accidentally do anything to myself that I don't want to do. And then I'm just going to squish it right there. Sorry, it went to slide off the table. It's like, OMG. Alright, so we're just going to have that right there and let it dry a moment. So you can see what this is going to look like. I'm going to start it up here, right? And we can just slide it down. So that's why I was telling you that somebody could actually put this as a pin, because I'm going to leave enough ribbon on here that they can do that. So all I'm going to do is take these down, and we're just going to shorten it just a little bit, not much, just enough so that, you know, if I've got it at the top, we'll be able to, let me just set this down right here. Alright, so we'll be able to, you know, I got tools around me. Everything is a tool, right? So I'm just going to cut this diagonally here, and I'm going to do the same side on the other side. And then I am going to fray it, right? Because on the other card I showed you at the beginning, I frayed it. It's just nice. It just gives it a whole, like a party time to celebrate, right? So that's what it's all about. It's all about celebrating, you know what? Whether somebody's retiring from the Navy. You know, the other thing is, right? So we talked about 4th of July, Veterans Day. You know, it could be that somebody's retiring from the military. Maybe somebody got promoted in the military, right? So red, white, and blue doesn't have to just be on 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Flag Day. You know, you can do it for other occasions as well, too. So I'm just going to put that in there. There we go. Alright, so it just gives a little extra, gives it that little extra look, right? That's what it's all about. Want to have that celebrated look. Okay, there we go. And you can fray it more if you want to. You can fray all the way down to the silver edge, okay? And it's still going to hold together. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this right here so we can get the sliding, and then I'll show you that, and then we'll finish the inside. So as we do this on this side here, I'm very comfortable with the fact of this being here. The main thing is, though, when you want to go and glue this, you want to make sure that center is up and right, right? So, just go ahead and put it in here. Let me get it to slide down again. Okay. It's sliding down right here, okay? So we're going to put glue right here. And then I'm just going to come up here like this here, and I'm believing I'm going to center it, but we'll know in a minute because I'm going to slide it off. So I'm going to center it here on the card. Alright, let's see if we can just slide it off gently. So it can slide off gently. Okay, let's do that again. Just because I got rain doesn't mean everything else can't work, right? Okay, so I'm just going to center it just like that. So it's center with the other. I might have to give it a moment. Alright. Okay, I got it that time. Alright, so see here, this is what I was talking about. You could easily put a pin right here, and somebody could pin that and put it on their blouse, jacket, whatever they want to do. Okay. Alright, so we've got this here. That's our slider. And it'll finish drying. I'll set it right here. So, that's what I said. It could also be a pop-up because it is popping up from the back to be able to sit there and do that. Now, we have this right here. So, only other thing I wanted to do with this here is I wanted to sit here and do a little stamping here. So, this does come, I'll show you what it looks like here if I stamp it. So, we have this here. And then we also have the blue that can be done the same thing. I was just going to do some random red. Right? So we can easily just do some here. And we'll do some here. Let's go up here. Right? And you can do some down here if you want to too. Just like here. Just give it the whole fun effect, right? Doesn't matter that the slider is going to go over it. The main thing is, right, we just have some little sparkle here, just to give it a little extra something there, okay? So, it's going to close like this. We've already flicked the different color on there, the red and the blue. I'm going to close this here. And like I said, this is part of the July 1st through the 16th free class to go. If you signed up for the retreat, you're going to get the birdhouse to make, and you're also going to get the airplane ornament to make. So you'll have 2 ornaments to make with this. That comes, it's just bonus pack that I decided to do with the retreat. So it's just going to sit up there. I'm not sure it's just going to start up here at the top, and we're just going to let it slide down. Okay? So that is how simple that is to make. It's not that hard, right? I'm just checking to make sure it's sit up there. I want to make sure that it's up there and that it's dry. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so it's just going to come right here. See how it slides? So the key to the sliding, remember, is just you got to have a little bit of gap. Okay? It's just, like I said, it's in between the 8th and 16th. And that little bit allows it to slide up and down. Now, what we did on the other card that you can still do on this card too, is we can sit up there and add this little bit of bling here. So this is what I did here. I did a double bow here. I did a double bow here too, but because we put the tag on top, you don't notice it as much, so you can actually just play with it and move it around. But the other thing is, if you want, you can sit there and do this as well. Let me get one of these here. I just took these and I just add them to the middle. Right? It just gives a little bit of sparkle. And then I just took the other ones, I just added some small ones. Right, because this is our card. And I'm just going to add a little right there. Right, so we just got some sparkle added to our card. And it'll be right up here like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. So what you want to do, so see how it wants to pop up because of the, just take your bone folder. Increase your lines a little bit more. This is all you got to do. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this today, right? Because that's what it's all about, right? It's about creating, sharing, and giving. And like I said, I got a military folks in our house. So there you go. Those are 2 that we have made. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. Like I said, it doesn't matter. There's people that still got 4th of July stuff, and they'll have it out there till the end of the month, just a patriotic month, right? But we have Veterans Day coming up. Like I said, you have the people that are retiring. And so there's always an easy way to sit there and be able to give them something, right? So with that, go out there, create, share, and give. We have about 4 spots left for our retreat in July. It's on July 27th. So if you're interested, please be sure to sign up or message me and I can give you some information. But it's all about creating and sharing, right? It's getting together and knowing that we're going to make a difference in somebody else's life, and there's no reason why we can't do that. It's the simple, random acts of kindness. And if you enjoyed this, please sure to not only share our site, but we're also out there on, right? We're out there on Instagram, and we're also, this video will be posted on YouTube. With that, be blessed, and I look forward to see you next week when we move on to something different. All right? Be blessed, and see you next week. Bye.